Afternoon, peeps. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget as well to like and share the vids. All right, let's just jump straight in. What's this one? Eubank Jr. I don't need to spar any more than 8 rounds. That's how long Smith's going to last. Look, we'll soon find out, right? It's a big fight. Can't wait for it. Just take what Eubank Jr. says, though, with a pinch of salt. He will be sparring and training to his best ability because he knows this is a very, very difficult fight. I mean, I've gone back and forth as to who I think would win. I said Liam Smith when the fight was announced. I've kind of edged to Eubank a bit. He does this, right? When you listen to him, he convinces you. He's done that since the get-go. But look, I guess the carrot being dangled in front of the winner is potentially a world title fight, right? Potentially a world title fight, whether that be against Janibek, maybe even Charlo, ideally for both GGG. But look, it's a really good fight. I look forward to it. I've not yet seen the face-off. I've seen little clips where Eubank sort of says that Smith looks like he's 50. Eubank, you can imagine Smith just wants to jump over the table. But look, I think it's going to be a really good fight. Good news as well for DAZN subscribers internationally. DAZN have just announced that they've got the international rights for it, which is very big because I've always said to DAZN since I joined, like, we need to cover all the fights in the UK. I get it, right? DAZN and Matchroom are aligned, but it doesn't mean that we can't cover the big fights on Queensberry and cover the big fights on Sky. So hopefully this is just a start. Hopefully it's this one, and then the week after it is Beterbiev versus Yard, and going forward we get to cover these events because I want to be doing some build up to this kind of stuff. I want to be at these events, and hopefully this means that that's the case. What else have we got here? Bivol says he would have enough motivation for Canelo rematch at 168. I think I would be ready. I like it. I like it. Again, now in his head, I genuinely think, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks, I think he's been thinking undisputed 168, undisputed 175. But let's see what happens. I guess, look, we are led to believe that Canelo looks like he might be taking the John Ryder fight. Bivol, hopefully maybe a Boatsi or someone of that kind of level. And then I'm guessing he's potentially looking at September, which I guess is a problem if he wants to take on Beterbiev. So look, he's going to have big decisions either way. I know I'm kind of jumping a few steps here, but if Bivol does get past whoever he fights next, in September he's going to be given the option of undisputed at 175, because I think Beterbiev will get past Yard, or undisputed at 168. What do you take? What do you take? What's bigger for your legacy? What's bigger for... Well, we know which one's bigger for your bank balance, but what's bigger for your legacy? Some might say 168 because he has a belt at 175, so that means he becomes a 2-weight world champion. But Beterbiev and that challenge there, that's big. That's really, really big. So look, we'll see what happens. Prograis, if shoes were on the other foot, I would have taken 85-15 in Ramirez's favor. I think they went as far as 70-30, or I think that's the offer they sent to Ramirez. Ramirez turned it down. Look, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. It isn't just a case of a fighter turning a fight down. There's so much that goes into making a fight. I think Ramirez would fight Prograis. I certainly don't think he's scared of Prograis. Ramirez is one of the best fighters at 140 as well. So I'm guessing there's other issues, but we'll see what happens with Ramirez. We'll see what happens with Prograis. Prograis has been calling out a lot of the fighters recently. Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia. So he only wants big fights. And I'm guessing he'll look closely at what happens between Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall. If Josh Taylor wins, he's going to want the rematch before Josh goes up to 147. He might even chase him up to 147. We'll see. What's this? Eubank Jr. to Ben. You're going to have to be the bad guy now. You're not the golden child. I think I saw something about him saying this a couple of weeks ago, so I don't know if he's now re-said it again. I still wait. Honestly, I still wait to see what the WBC ruling on this is going to be. And then the interviews and just the conversations after. Because I think there's still so much more to unpack here. Eddie Hearn recently said again that Conor Benn will be fighting very, very soon once this is all said and done. I can't wait to see how this all plays out. I can't wait to see the level of opponent he goes in the ring with. There's so much that's going to happen with Conor Benn in the first sort of 6 months of the year. I think it's going to be very, very interesting. Deontay Wilder's trainer, so this is Malik Scott. Most likely, the next fight is Andy Ruiz. That's a massive fight. I just had Gareth A. Davis in the studio with me today, who was filming something for TalkSport, and we were kind of breaking down the biggest fights in America that can be made or will be made in 2023. And we both agreed that it's going to be Tank versus Ryan, which I think will go over 1 million pay-per-view buys. This one will be close as well. 2 former world champions, the African-American, Mexican-American element, which has always sort of produced good numbers in America. So I think this is a good fight, a very, very good fight. I think Ruiz will cause Wilder so many problems, but we know Wilder's power. It's real. It's not a joke. I think we saw that against Helenius, where people thought that Helenius maybe faked it. You guys are crazy. Helenius just got hit, and that was that. A big fight that's been announced in the last, 24, 48 hours is that Leigh Wood will take on Mauricio Lara. It's a fight that was supposed to happen the back end of last year. Leigh Wood got injured. I'm trying to think what card that was again. I think it was the Kid Galahad card, wasn't it? Was it Kid Galahad? And is that the one that Terry Harper fought on as well? I think it was. Leigh Wood was supposed to headline. And a lot of people, I think they need to kind of send Leigh Wood apologies here. A lot of people are like, Leigh Wood's just ducking him. He's avoided him. He's scared. He's running scared. Well, obviously not, because his hand is injured. And now, as the full WBA champion, he doesn't need to fight Lara. But he's like, you know what? Run it back. Run it back. You think I'm scared? Run it back. And the kid's got some balls on him, because we all know that Mauricio Lara is almost turned into the boogeyman of the division. And I think it's a great fight. I remember when it was announced last time, everyone was going crazy about it. And then obviously everyone was fully upset that it got canned. But look, all the big promoters have gone big at the start of the year with big shows. And I think Matchroom had to. Matchroom had to go big, and they've done it. Let's not forget Queensbury have got Butterby of Yard. Sky have got Eubank Liam Smith. So I felt like Matchroom needed to do something as well. And I think they've done it with this one. It's a straight shootout. Don't expect this fight to go points. That Nottingham Arena, I'm guessing that's where it's going to take place, is going to be bouncing. It's going to be bouncing. Is it going to be as good as Headingley for Josh Warrington Lara? Probably not, but it's going to get close. It's going to get close. I expect it to be packed, sold out. And that's what I want. Just even as someone that works on these events, I got a call from my agent to obviously say that Matchroom have said pencil in that event, and now it's like rubber stamped. Even just working on these events, it's so much better working on these events when it is a packed arena. And you can't get that all the time. I get it. Some fights don't dictate that, but this does. I hope it's a good undercard as well. Hope there's maybe 1 or 2 more big ones on the undercard. But even if there isn't, and I hope there is, but even if there isn't, this is a main event that kind of sells itself. I mean, if Leigh Wood comes through this one, I mean, his last 3 fights would have been Ju Can, Michael Conlan, and Mauricio Lara. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a big if. It's a big if. I know a lot of you have Lara as a favourite, but if he comes through, then, I mean, geez. And you know what I like about him as well, Leigh Wood? Leigh Wood's not in his 20s anymore. I think he's 34, 33, 34. Let's double check. Could have got that wrong, but I feel like I remember reading this. Leigh Wood is... How old is Leigh Wood? 34. 34. So there's no point in having easier fights. Just go straight for it. Well, what's the point? What is the point? There's no point in him having, I've recovered from the hand injury. Maybe I need a warm up. No. Give me the killer. Who's the killer? Lara. Bring him. And I love that attitude. I love it. And I wish him all the success, because this isn't going to be easy. But even if you lose these type of fights, you're in them. You'd rather lose to a Lara than get smoked by a kid up and coming that no one really knows. Everyone now knows Lara because of the Warrington fights. So, good luck to him. I can't wait for it. It's going to be something a bit special. Artur Beterbiev not bothered about being on Yard's home turf. Yeah, I don't know if Yard has the support. I mentioned Josh Warrington and Leigh Wood. I don't know if he has that kind of support where the atmosphere is going to intimidate him. It isn't like that. And even if it was, I don't think he would care. I don't think he'd give a fuck, if I'm honest with you. He looks like he would go anywhere and fight anyone. Just fact. So I don't think it bothers him. Obviously for Yard, they'll be hoping that there is a very, very good sort of amount of fans in there. And I hope it is as well. Look, it's going to be difficult for Yard, but you beat. Look, if he were to win, if Yard yet lands something clean, we've seen Baturbia have hurt before. He's got a chance, but that's all I'm giving him. I'm giving him a puncher's chance. Obviously, we'll do more videos in the lead up to it. Fingers crossed the Zone get the international rights for that one as well. But he's got a chance, but it is a slim chance because he's fighting someone very, very, very good. I gave him 3 veries there. That's how good he is. Gervonta Davis, I'd rather beat someone up for 12 rounds than get the knockout. Don't believe that. Don't believe. When fighters say it's nonsense. No fighter wants to, like, you don't get paid extra for going extra rounds. Every fighter, if they can, would get a fighter out there ASAP. Every fighter. So when a fighter goes rounds, and you know when fighters say things like, it was good to go 12 rounds. No, you don't want to go 12 rounds. You had to go 12 rounds. You had to. So especially when he's considered a knockout artist. If you're a boxer, okay. If you're one of those guys that, you know, mainly goes to points like a Sonny Edwards or someone like that, then okay, cool. It's in your DNA. If you're a puncher, the last thing a puncher wants to do is go to 12. The last thing they want to do. So what else we got? What's this one? Stanionis. I always pronounce his name incorrectly. Stanionis. Doesn't believe it's fair if Keith Thurman is the next chosen foe for Spence. Boxing isn't fair, brother. Get used to it. Boxing isn't fair. Unless you bring that or a name value to the table, then understand it's very, very difficult for you. Boxing just isn't a fair sport. It's the wild, wild west. I think we all know that. Anything else? Blair Cobbs rips Jaron Ennis. Why is he not fighting fighters that think they can beat him? Oh, Blair, stop it. Stop, Blair. Just say you want the fight. All this kind of talk. I mean, this is similar to what Andrade did or has been doing to Canelo and Golovkin. Like, look at my resume. You know, like, come on. Let's see if there's anything else very quickly. Mike Comjo. I did this on my video that is up already about AJ. Rumors are that it will be Derek James as his new trainer. Obviously, the trainer of Jamel Charlo and Errol Spence. And also, AJ will be going out to the US next week to begin camp. So I guess we're going to find out in a week. I mean, everyone's doing video saying it's Derek James now. I just did it, but I guess we don't have to wait too long to find out officially. But that's it, guys, girls. Peace and love.